like I said, I was thinking if it's ruled unintentional, it should be minimum. But they didn't consider that. With them not considering that, a year, I was thinking 6 month suspension, no contest. But a year, no contest, that's good too. That's good too. I have no problem with the ruling. I have no problem with the ruling. Strict liability is in Ryan Garcia's system. And that's the way they worked with it in a way where there's just really you can't really, there's nothing really to question. There's nothing really to complain about. In the system, it sends a signal to everybody else. Make sure your shit's clean. All right?
I see Showbiz. I see Showbiz saying that Ryan Garcia should get 6 months because we don't know if it's intentionally or there's no proof for that. And listen, man, the man plead guilty. He took a settlement and he took the 1 year and the fine of 1.2 million or whatever, right? Okay, fine. But to me, fighters fight more than, they take a long time to fight. So what's a year? Doesn't mean anything. Tank Davis just fought, 14 months he was out? So what is that? That don't mean anything. Look at my baby. Come on, look at my baby over here. She coming, look at her. I don't know if you can see her. There she go. She coming, she's right there. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of them. Look at them. There's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. They kind of used to me, man. I come and go. You know what I'm saying? But Starbright, you want some food? Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, let's get that food. Come on. I see your babies. Come on. Come on, girl. Let's see. Let me pause it. Yeah, so. Come in, girl. You ready? Come on. I see your babies. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on, go get your stuff. Come get your food. See, they know me. They know me. They know I ain't no harm to them. They get that. Get some more. I'll put some over here for your babies, all right? Yeah, they love that corn. They love that corn. All right, girl. Let me go. I got things to do. Yeah, let me do the rest of this in the truck because, you know, I'll get harassed by these deers. You know, so by the time I leave this truck, it's about 10 deers watching me, waiting for some con. Yeah. So I'm listening to Showbiz, and he said, you know, 6 months is what he wanted, and a year is fine, and you know, we don't know the intent and blah 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 blah. Listen, in my mind, it's like this, yo. Just like I said when I was, you know, feeding these deers, a year ain't nothing, right? And if you're a real advocate for clean boxing, if you're a real advocate now, right? There's a lot of boxers, a lot of UFCs that get popped for the same damn thing. SARMs, ostrich piss, or whatever you want, ostrich piss, whatever you call it. So this is nothing new, right? So in my mind, I'm like, listen, if you for the sport, for a clean sport, wouldn't you want Ryan to get 2 years? All right. I mean, I would have said 3, but I would give him 2. All right. 2 years with the same thing about, you know, that whole year he's got to be, you know, tested or whatever. But for 2 years, I'll give him that, right? Be suspended for 2 years. And the reason why I say make him an example. Make him an example for the other fighters. And then the other fighters be like, listen, man, if I can't fight, I can't eat. I just can't eat, man. So, you know, this is a risk of me taking this compound and going through the runarounds about getting a 2-year suspension. I feel like if people knew, it's not because of Ryan. It's not because of Ryan. I'm just saying, if for the clean sport, these rules got to be put down where you're going to get 2 years if you get popped. And I think that boxers alone will go through thinking twice about putting something in their body without getting it checked or going the wrong route in order to win a bout. Okay? So let's move on. Now listen to me now. Ryan Garcia fans, let me explain to you what I know about you, right? Okay. I'm going to show you this little clip here, and I'm going to understand, because I'm an old fan, right? I'm an old school fan, but this is a new generation. Now, I ain't getting mad at new generation, because guess what? My old ass is going to die, and life's still going to go on. Am I right? So why am I going to bitch and moan? I'm just letting you know that I can recognize the difference between me and the millennials and the Gen Z. So let me refresh in your memory where I know I stand with y'all. Millennials have an average attention span of 12 seconds, while Gen Z is closer to 8 seconds. This is a decrease from the average human attention span of 12 seconds in the early 2000s. Some say that Gen Z's shorter attention span is due to their constant exposure to digital content and multiple screens, as well as their upbringing in the era of instant gratification. Yeah, I understand. See, that's why I don't do lives. Because I know what I'm against and what I'm ahead. I see the whole picture. So I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time arguing about the 1% that always get away with shit, right? The only thing I'm worried about at this age, I love to say I'm 51 because I made it and I look handsome as a motherfucker and I don't look my age. But two things that I care about right now. I ain't care about arguing with another nigga about another nigga. All I care about is making money and pussy. I'm just being honest. And pussy, yeah, because I'm 51 and I'm getting older, so there must be a lot of pussy driven pounding, okay? So that's it, money and pussy. So I know deep in my heart that I know I can't argue with somebody, a millennial will have 12 seconds. I can't argue with a Gen Z that have 8 seconds. Instant gratification, that means there's no time for fucking reasoning. There's only time for feeling. And as I say, I could show you examples with Ryan. I could show you examples with Tank Davis of the new generation, how they think. You looking at a screen and you flicking. I did it. Watching little shorts on YouTube, flicking. It's like it's conditioned you subliminally. Just like you ever seen a movie and they have this guy tied up in some kind of war film and they got these flashing fucking videos of all kind of evil shit, and then your mind subliminally get it even if you try to resist it. It's like that. And they gonna condition us with shorts and going back. And what I noticed that one day I just kept looking at shorts. I never usually look at shorts. And I looked at shorts for like almost a week, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, constantly. And I noticed something, my brainwaves was fucking different. Like my brainwaves, at my age, my brainwaves was like, I couldn't concentrate on the fucking situation that I was thinking about. I would just like have one thought and next thing something else would jump in my fucking mind. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't think that way. But I had to catch myself and ease off them fucking shorts. You know what I'm saying? Those flick, you're looking at one thing to the next. Your mind is not resting on a thought. It just moves on to another thought. So I see the bigger picture when it comes to the millennials and Gen Z. And it's not about reasoning. Listen, it's all about feeling. That's what this is about. It's feeling. I always told, look at Manny Pacquiao right here. See? MP, right here, right? I always said in my videos way in the back. I said, if Manny Pacquiao ever get popped, I'm going to disown him. And you could call me a pactard or whatever. That's one of my best fighters right there, right? And recently now it's Terrence Crawford, right? But I like Pernell Whitaker. It's a lot that I like, but right now, Terrence Crawford, I like. Now, see, this is the difference. I like Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford outside the ring, but I like Manny Pacquiao outside the ring and Terrence Crawford outside the ring and inside the ring. I'm going to give you an example. I don't like Mayweather out the ring. I don't like Tank out the ring. I don't like Ryan Garcia out the ring, but I like them in the ring. Right? Now, when I'm giving you examples about the millennial and Gen Z and how everything is a feeling, I gotta feel it. I gotta feel it to have, to come with reasoning. Feelings come to make my reasoning, right? Not reasonings, right? And facts. Just feelings make me reason. Not even fucking reason, to tell you the truth. But let me give you an example about how I see Tank. He tweets, X, right? Well, it used to be called tweet. He tweets. But knowing me, before I tweet, I think about what I'm going to write and how it's going to come out and how people are going to perceive it and how people are going to look at it and what's going to happen, right? But I think it's more of impulse, right? That's the word, keyword, impulse, because it's instant gratification. So if the impulse told your mind, write this, and you write it, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, fuck, I got to delete it. How many times did Tank do this? Come on now. He writes something, and then he deletes it. That's another example. Let me give you another example of this fucking new generation. Ryan Garcia. He's talking about getting molested in the bushes. He's talking about the Illuminati. He's talking about the kids. He's talking about every fucking thing. Doesn't that sound like the screen fucking keeps flicking? Doesn't it sound like the fucking screen keeps flicking, right? So I see this new generation. I can't get with the fucking program. I just can't. That's why I don't do lives, and that's why I don't go back and forth. When I feel like it, when I have a little spare time, I might go fuck around with different channels and hear their perspective and fucking go to war with them. But I honestly, it's not a case. Because listen, look at the 1%. I'm going to give you examples of the 1%. Mayweather's the 1%. Canelo's the 1%. When I mean 1% face of boxing, right? Tank, if he keeps on his track, obviously he's a 1%. I'm going to tell you why he's a 1%. Ryan Garcia is a 1%. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is not white, black, Mexican, or Asian. This is just a 1%. Okay? And what happens in this generation, they idolize the 1%. I don't fucking understand this, right? But it's been going on through time. Everybody want to idolize the 1%. Everybody want to act like their shit don't stink and they up with the Joneses and they're better than the other one. I get it. I get the bullshit, right? But the 1% that you feeling so happy because it has a face of boxing, right? That person has a face, so you idolize them, right? And guess what? This is the proof of idolizing. It doesn't matter if you're right. It really doesn't matter if you're wrong. That person's going to be with you to the end. Even if you got popped, what did Canelo get? He got 6 months, right? He got people that idolize him, and if I argue and say, well, he got popped, they will say to me, well, that he took a pubic hair and he showed and he traced back where he got it at, where he got the meat, and I understand, but he got popped. Manny Pacquiao never got popped. That's the difference. But in these people's eyes today, getting popped and not getting popped and feeling like they did, see the word feeling that that person's on something, it's still equivalent to being popped. I get it. This is it. This is the way it is, and it's going to get even worse because it's entitlement, fast. Everything is like this now. Okay, so the one thing I understand about the 1%. They could get away. You know why they could get away with shit? I'm going to tell you why they could get away with shit. It's the same shit I hear in boxing. They too big to fail. They put butts in seats. They sell. These are the things, right? These are the things that no matter what, those fighters can never do wrong. Those fighters can never do wrong. So the first thing we have is Ryan Garcia. He got popped. He settled. Right? And I'm going to tell you what the Ryan Garcia's in their eyes is that, yeah, Devin, he got his ass whipped. Seeing is fucking believing, right? So Devin got to prove, this is what the Ryans Garcias are thinking. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm starting to feel this, right? That Devin got to prove to Ryan, and Devin got to prove to everybody in the world that if Ryan's not on drugs, if Ryan are on drugs and Devin beat his ass, well, that's the reason why Devin lost the fight when Ryan was on drugs. So this is a big thing for Devin to do. Now, like I said, I'm not a big Devin fan. I got Shakur beating Devin, and I got Shakur and Tank so-so, right? Oh, man, battery's dying. God damn it. Hold on. Battery's dying. So, there we go. 5%. Oh, shit. Yeah, so get back to this 1%. Because I see that in boxing, and I can give you examples of 1% getting off. 1% of boxers, the ones that you like to call face of boxing, they always get off. And people will defend it even when they're wrong. Even when they're wrong. See, I can't, that's my thing. I can't. If you say I'm guilty and I settled and I'm going to take this year and I'm going to go through all this stuff, all right, you settled. Okay, there's a difference between Canelo and there's a difference between Ryan Garcia. Of course, Canelo, he popped, but he had a trace of where his tainted meat was from with the clenbuterol. Ryan couldn't trace anything back. He just could point fingers and say, Snack is a problem, Victor's a problem, the Illuminati is a problem, all this stuff. But guess what? Ryan fans will still agree on him because they idolize him. And the idol worshiping was going on from the day of time. But in these now days and times ahead of us, it's getting more enhanced. See, reasoning and compromise is going down. And what's going up is entitlement, fast. I want it fast. I want everything fast. I'm entitled to have things. And this is with social media and technology. So I'm going to see generations that I'm not going to understand. And the older I get, the more slower I get. So I'm not going to bitch and moan about my generation is better than your generation. Because at the end of the day, when you're dead, you're fucking dead. And the generation don't give a fuck about what's going on in the last generation. All you could do is walk YouTube and see what was going on in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, and so on. And say, well, I wish I lived it. It is what it is. So now I have to program myself to just like the boxer in the ring and don't think about the boxer outside the ring. And especially if they're a fucking skunt outside the ring. I just got to worry about what's going on inside the ring and like them for their abilities. Let's not forget, we liking these entertainers, these sports, everybody for what they do. Get out. And I'm starting to learn this in this generation. I just got to stay away for what they do outside the ring, right? And worry about what's going on inside the ring. I got to give you an example. Examples like this. When you're watching a bout, right? And you got two idiots outside commentating and trying to be biased for one fighter. What do? Well, old school like us, we turn the fucking volume down. And we watch with our eyes. And we find reasoning in our fucking brains. That's old school. But if you leave the volume up, what you see, you might not see. So in this generation, hey, I'm telling you right now, this generation is going to go through some shit with AI. And look, AI can make a whole fucking city over there, and you think it's a real city, and it's not. So there's going to be a lot of tricks of the words, tricks of what you see. Seeing and believing is not going to be what you think it is anymore. Seeing and believing is not what you're going to be thinking anymore. This is some totally new shit, right? So all I care about is getting my money, retiring, and busting nuts. That's it, because that's all that I could feel and see in my hand, right? I could see the money in my hand, and I could feel. That's the only thing I want to feel. I don't want to reason with nothing. That's the only thing I want to feel is me busting a nut. That's it, right? So I'll give you like some examples. Let me give you an example. Because, see, Mayweather, he was like, he's the virus that mutated in Canelo. He is the virus that mutated in Ryan Garcia. He would be the virus that mutated in Tank Davis. And the reason why, Tank Davis, he never cheated anything, right? You could be suspicious, right? Because of the words he's saying, well, I put Ryan on VADA, but now I don't like VADA because VADA this and VADA that. Oh, no, it's not VADA I'm on. I think I'm on fucking USADA. If you see my last video, he don't even know what the fuck he's on, right? He's like, yeah, USADA. USADA done already, right? But I could give you examples, plenty of examples of how people that's 1% will always get off. And hey, and we see it in boxing all the time. In boxing, guess what? They're too big to fail. They put butts in seats. Fuck your belts. Too big to fail. It is what it is. They sell. So if they sell, they contribute something to boxing. And when they contribute something to boxing, you can't interfere with the fucking program. That's what it is. Now, let me give you an example. And I'm not going to say this. I'm going to listen, let me give you an example. Mayweather will eat something and Leonard Ellaby will shit it out. Let me give you an example. Watch this.
Floyd, can you explain what you took after the weigh-in, the pack after where you had the TUE from your side, the fluid that you took? I was surprised that you had to take whatever it was you took after the weigh-in that you saw that the saline solution and whatever else it was. I know you saw it, but they gave you a TUE.
I mean, with any fighter, some fighters take Pedialyte, limited nutrition.
It's a different.
Just rehydrate. When a fighter is I mean,
well, my question is,
you know, my urine, you know, you don't really like, my urine was dark, extremely dark, darker than normal. That could be from overworking. Extremely dark.
Well, let me just say, the question I wanted to ask was, you're normally not struggling to make weight because you're walking.
I'm not struggling that.
So I guess, why did you have to
because a lot of times what happens is that when you work, you become dehydrated. It's not that you're struggling to make weight. It's just he pushes himself so hard. You got to remember. I'm a lot older now. Yeah, and you got to remember too is that we're going down through. He's going down through the drug testing. So he's working out, having to get blood taken, give urine and do all this, also with preparing for a fight. So it was nothing out of the ordinary.
What did you think UFC announced?
Did you hear what Leonard Ellerbe said? He said we, and he said, well, not we, I meant him, not we. Did you hear that part? He's so wrapped up in Mayweather, right? He's explaining what Mayweather put in his system, and he's explaining what he shit out that Mayweather put in his system. Okay? And what'd you say? What's that got to do with Ryan? Well, listen, didn't Ryan use an IV? Didn't he use an IV? He used an IV also, right? But you will find excuses, right? You're going to find excuses, right? And this is what I talk about, the 1%. So Mayweather, and I always want to put this out because you know why? Other channels, they love to talk about Manny Pacquiao getting popped. That never got popped, but always saying he's on shit. So I got to balance this bitch out. And always put this shit here to remind the American people that it's not looking good for Mayweather when he put an IV in his arm after the weigh-in at his house. He broke all the rules of VADA, USADA, and all of them go to a credible lab called WADA. So he also broke the rules with WADA because he's supposed to take an IV in a clinic with an official, not at home, and taking a certain amount of liters over the liters. Then they're going to talk about he got to rehydrate, his urine is dirty, he worked very hard. Well, guess what? Mayweather's the same age as you. He didn't have to take a fucking IV. What is it that you so different and special? But this is what I'm talking about, the wealthy. Now, this is, my attention span on this is getting kind of short, so I'm just going to explain something to these Ryan Garcia fans, right? I'm going to make this fucking clear. And also these channels, you're going to have channels like Showbiz. He's like balancing the gate every time. Like, he wants to satisfy these people and then satisfy these people. And the more that this side has more Instagram followers or whatever, he's gonna be on this side more. He's gonna baby you. He's gonna baby you, right? He's gonna make you feel like everything is okay. It's not your fault. To be a fan of Ryan, it is what you choose what you want. I'm not over here idolizing people, right? We all love to see the sport of boxing and UFC and basketball and football and hockey, and we like to watch these things, right? And we get wrapped up in the fighter, in the boxer, and whatever. But like in my mind, yes, if I want to hear drama, I just go to Blue Blood because Blue Blood is going to always inform me on who said, he said, she said. You ain't going to get that over here because I don't have time for it. I don't have fucking time for it. So what I'm getting to at the end of this video, just showing you an example, that's an old school example of how Mayweather, Ryan Garcia, Canelo, it started from Mayweather and the virus mutated, all right? And everybody have their way of doing things once it mutated and generated in their way. Once you got Instagram followers, once you can put butts in seats, once you're too big to fail, all this shit matters. So, Ryan Garcia, I'm going to end this shit like this. Ryan Garcia fans, since you love the 1% so much, and you like, see, this is where I put the world in. Because the 1% of the world, the wealthy, see, it's either you're a consumer or a producer. It's one of the two. So, I know the fans are not fans of their rent getting raised. I know the fans out here are not a fan of the 1% raising their interest rate. I know the fans are not happy when the MTA raises your fucking fare to get on the bus or train. I know the fans are not fans of the 1% when they raise the percentage on your fucking credit card, right? So, you need a face in order to say, I love this wealthy 1%er. I get it. But in a way, I don't get it, because at the end of the day, if you're such a fan of people that's too big to fail, well, you should be a fan of these people that's taking your motherfucking money. I'm just being honest, yo. It might sound strange, right? It might sound strange, but I'm pretty sure all these people that's raising your fucking rent and your mortgage and your interest rate and your food, your energy, and your shelter, I'm pretty sure you're bitching and moaning, but hey, don't bitch so much. They too big to fail, remember that. Right? They sell. They sell to the consumer. Right? When Kanye West going to sell you some fucking space boots, hey, just go out and buy. You're not a producer. You're a consumer. Listen, I'm just trying to give you a perception of how I see the new generation. And I'm not going to be banging my head. No, I'm not going to be banging my head. The only thing I'll be banging is my dick and some pussy. That's basically it. But yo, there's channels that's going to tell you he says, she said, how they feel. Just don't get wrapped up too much. Don't get wrapped up too much. Because as we can see with the Ryans and the Tanks, they say things quickly. And then you want to take their word as born. Not in this generation. You can't take nothing as born. People change their mind quick, fast like that in a hurry. Quick, fast like that in a hurry. They say shit that they don't mean and then delete it. Or they delete it and forgot that they was thinking it and they wrote it down and they didn't supposed to write it down in the first place. It's impulse. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not here to change your mind. Never here to change your mind. I can't waste my time on changing people's mind. I just want you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. And hey, man, the truth and the lies, I mix with the lies and the truth of the lies. But at the end of the day, guess what y'all like? Y'all like the lies and y'all hate the truth because the truth hurts. And it's all about feelings. You don't want nobody to hurt your feelings, right? Yeah. So you will get channels in the future that's going to balance everything out. 1 minute they're going to go by how people voting on this side. And listen, man. Ryan, Tank. I like Tank in the ring. I can't stand his sherbet fur wearing purse, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's just another opinion, right? I might not like how he rolls outside the ring. I like Manny Pacquiao. I like Terrence Crawford. I can't stand Mayweather outside the ring. I can't stand him outside the ring. I really can't stand that nigga outside the ring. But inside the ring, yes. I'm not going to let what's going on, my feelings outside the ring, disturb what I want to feel inside the ring and watching them be entertained. Okay? And like one thing that Mayweather said, that, hey, either I'm the hero or the villain, you're going to come see me win or you're going to come see me fail. One of the two, you're still going to buy. The same thing when you're out here in the world. Regardless if you're bitching and moaning about your fucking bills, remember, they too big to fail. The car industry, they get bailed out. They too big to fail, but you complaining and bitching about them, right? That same energy you fucking got, now you see how it feels when you put it into a human being and you idolize them and you know they fucking wrong. They fucking wrong. But, hey, you know what? I gotta get the fuck out of here. Fucking right. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. I'm just done. Manny Pacquiao. Next time I'll be at Terrence Crawford. Yeah. Just to irritate your fucking mind.